I would like to know the Commission's stance on the recent mandatory burqa and niqab imposed by Taliban on the Afghan TV anchors and female journalists. Is there anyone that can answer my question?
I am always happy that Nabila is in the room. Nabila, please.
Hello, Mohsen. Well, I mean, I can only reiterate our position on the situation of women in general in Afghanistan. We regret the banning of Afghan female students, for example, going to school. There is a disturbing, understandably caused immense disappointment of all the parents, but also we also are extremely disappointed at the latest development and positions of the Taliban de facto authorities when it comes to women in general.
Thank you, Nabila. Mohsen, I think you have a follow-up question.
Yes, I hope you can hear me clearly, Nabila. We have receiving numerous concerns from European Afghan community regarding to the further development of limitations by Taliban on women's rights, especially the sector of journalist sector. And as we heard earlier, Commission and European with single voice announced that we are going to deal with the Taliban, and we have these preconditions of respect for democracy, human rights and women's rights. How far we are going to pursue these claims, and what is the current agenda, how we're going to deal with this further banning, because it's not going to stop there.
I understand totally your concerns, Mohsen. We have seen the reports in general of all the evolution, as I said, about the situation of women in Afghanistan. We are alarmed by the worrying reports that the Taliban are not complying with the international human rights obligation to which Afghanistan committed over the past decades, including the respect for fundamental freedoms without discrimination, freedom of peaceful assembly must be guaranteed, and women should be able to contribute fully to this process. In our engagement, as you were referring to, with the Taliban so far and moving forward, we will pay particular attention to their actions, respect the international obligations accepted by the different Afghan governments for more than 50 years. And this, of course, includes all the conditionalities and respect to all the resolutions of the UN Security Council, human rights and freedom by especially of women, girls and minorities. So the respect of human rights, in particular women rights, the rule of law and freedom of the media is one of the benchmarks, as you probably know, that the EU foreign ministers laid out in an informal meeting back in Slovenia, and one of the benchmarks on which we were considering how to calibrate our relation with the Afghan government was the way that the new government will treat the rights of women. So we are monitoring. The first news are definitely not encouraging. They are alarming, and we are going to the opposite direction in which we have been engaged for about 20 years. But this will be part of our engagement with the Afghan government or de facto authorities, for that matter.
Thank you, Nabila. I see that Birgit has raised her hand. Is this on the Taliban treatment of women, Birgit? You must change your mic source, apparently.
Okay, do you hear me now?
We hear you, Birgit. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's not on this topic, so I can wait, actually, when there are other questions.
Okay, thank you. Stay with us. Do we have any further questions for Nabila on this particular topic? No. Any other questions on the very broad portfolio of Nabila? No. Then I open the floor again to other questions. Thank you, Nabila. Birgit, you may wish to raise your hand. Voila, there you go. You have the floor, Birgit.